Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome in. It is a brand new episode of Snaps, a college football podcast that's every Tuesday and Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern, noon Central. Now brought to you by Snaps Clothing Company. More on that a bit later. Promo code SNAPCFB. What's going on, though, guys? Just getting the links shared here real quick. Hope everybody's having a great day. We've got a really good show planned for you today. Cam Ward, basically for sure, going to go number one overall. Nope. Which teams are poised to rise in 2025? I've got an insane Michigan hacking story that's right. Put this man next to Mel Tucker in the fucked up horny Hall of Fame. That's right. We have a new entry, Aaron. And we got some news on the new College Football 26 video game and The Athletic. I need to shout out Manny Navarro of The Athletic. Looked at all of the 2,000 plus players that hit the transfer portal this last year, and the takeaways are very interesting in terms of what they signal for the future of the sport. So we're going to cover all this over the next hour. We got to be upfront here, guys. I feel like dog shit. My morning radio show this morning, it's 3 hours. Normally it feels quick, right? Like I blink and I'm through the first hour. I'm having so much fun. It felt like a 6-hour show.
Oh, I hate this.
I'm a little, I think it's mainly
Is Hester not helping out a little bit? Did he not shoulder the burden a little bit more?
No, he does. He's a great partner. It's just me. I just don't like, I think a little bit of allergies, maybe combined with, I think I only slept like 2 hours last night. My kids are all over the place. I don't think I'm sick. I feel sick, but I don't think I'm sick. But I guess the point is just, I apologize. Give me a little grace because I may not be nearly as funny or entertaining as you're used to today.
It's still as beautiful as ever, so don't worry about that. It's probably just straining so much from trying to just pop your quad muscles on your slutty videos you're posting that you burst something up top.
What? You're the only one that can post thirst traps?
I feel like since I post mine, you've been extra thirsty with the quads.
Well, I have been. And it has been on purpose. Okay. The quads things have, but it's not. This is a correlation does not equal causation situation. I did not do it because you posted your slutty pictures. I just one day was working out and my shorts got hiked up a little bit. And I was like, holy fuck.
I look good.
My legs look actually good. Like that's my strongest feature. Like I don't have look, I'm very strong, but I don't have a lot of bicep definition. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that? That's like nothing. It pisses me off, but it's like, you know what I do have? I have legs. So I've decided to start showing them off
out a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. It feels good. It feels confident. I'm not really flexing them though. If you want to see full flex, I could go full flex. I'm just doing whatever the exercise is at the time. I had some, Aaron, morning routines seem to be all the rage after, you're not as chronically online as many.
No.
Have you seen all of the morning routine memes from what's his name? Ashton something.
The memes are like everyone doing essentially what my morning routine is.
So
dipping their face in a bowl of ice.
So that's what I guess that's what I'm getting at is, and I guess I should just bring it up for those that don't know. But I imagine that you are one of the few people I know that has a similar morning routine. Is this true or false?
This is if I didn't have two kids going ham at 6 o'clock in the morning, I would love a nice casual morning routine. But there is it's as you know, it is survival mode. When your daughter wakes up at 6 o'clock having to take a shit, then your son hears it, then he comes in there. And then from there, Sharon's trying to get her 7 miles in on the treadmill. So it's all right, let's go.
So what do you do though? Do you sleep in a red light mask?
No.
Anything?
Don't you
use beef tallow lotion?
I do use beef tallow lotion, and I do
all over your body or just on your face?
Face and hands.
Face and hands?
Face and hands.
Would you
and obviously,
Oh, for jerking off?
Yes.
Really?
good vitamins. I want everything to look good.
I'm a coconut oil man. I believe coconut oil's
love
the best natural lubricant there is out there. You're telling me beef tallow is better. I mean, I'll try it. That feels a little greasy.
No, it's
I mean,
not.
it's
Do I look
all a
greasy,
little
asshole?
greasy. No. But I mean, I'm sorry. I'm the asshole for saying that jerking off with beef tallow feels a little greasy. I don't think I'm out of pocket for that. That feels like a completely normal reaction to that sentence. Maybe I'm.
What's your morning routine? Because you're the one who I feel like you have more of a routine than I do. Because you get up.
Yeah, I wake up at
4:20.
4:20. I wake up at 4:20.
Yep.
I'll sit on the toilet for like 20 minutes trying to wake up. Might move some pieces in the chess game that I have going on. Normally I end up falling into some weird Twitter hole that depresses me about humanity. Generally, it's somewhat politically tinged. I'm trying to stop that as much. But yeah, so I'll wake up at 4:20, hang out there for a bit. I'll make a green drink. I've been taking lion's mane, some vision shit, some other supplement thing that's supposed to go with the green drink. Take that down, head to workout 5 to about 5:45, get back to the house, shower, make a giant water with electrolytes and creatine, and then I'll head to work with that and a coffee. So yeah, I guess
What's the point of the face in the ice water?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm surprised that you don't know. I mean, you're the one out here sticking beef tallow all over your body.
Little for the eggs in the morning, a little on the face, a little on the chest, and we're good.
I mean, yes, literally for the eggs. I mean, that's what I coat my cast iron in.
Oh.
Even though I've been using bacon grease lately, but yeah, you could definitely use beef tallow. Cassie says it shrinks the capillaries. Okay.
There you
go. Captain Smart says, TBob, sorry, my cards lost you money Thursday, but thanks for at least believing in Louisville. Yeah, I went, before I stopped gambling on this year's March Madness, Aaron, I went 3-20 in my March Madness picks. In fact, Jake Hesser's been doing picks.
You're 3-20 in your pick? Or this is gambling, not like your bracket?
No, it's just gambling. The bracket's terrible as well. Bracket's awful as well. But I entered unreal mush territory. I entered Jonah level territory. So Jake Hester's been given like 5 or 6 picks a day for our website. And he's been winning like 65% of his games. Like had a very good record. Couple of
You lost all my money is what you're trying to say.
The nut shrank. The nut definitely shrank by a couple $100. Yes. Yeah. We're going to have to build it back up, but we can do it together. No. So Jake's been like winning, right? About a 65% clip. So Friday, I'm fucking around. I'm like, look, man, because I was off to like a 3-12 start. I was like, it can't get worse. I'm going to tail you on every single pick.
Attaboy.
He goes 0-5 when I hopped on board. Like I am to roll Jonah. You have to. So I apologize actually to you, Captain Spartan, for hopping on the Louisville bandwagon and getting y'all fucked.
I do like Alabama. So there you go. Use that one. Alabama minus 5.5.
Fuck is wrong with you?
No? You don't like Alabama minus 5.5 versus BYU?
First off, I don't know anything about college basketball. My opinion on a college basketball, to steal one of my favorite sayings from my old line coach, my opinion on college basketball is worth about as much as goose shit on a pump handle, which is to say absolutely nothing. It adds no value whatsoever. So I have no opinion. So with that in mind, you got me fucked if you think I'm going to sit here and suck Alabama off like you just did.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Money's money, baby. Money is money.
You don't know anything about it. You can't say that. You don't even know anything about BYU or Alabama.
I know Alabama at one point was the number 1 team in the country. I know they're pretty damn good. I know they beat Auburn last game of the season. I'm going to take that knowledge.
I'm going to ask you the easiest question ever. Who's Alabama's head coach?
I can see his face. Don't.
God.
Hands are up. Hands are up. Hands are up. I can see his face. He wears the plaid jacket.
This is the man that just tried
Wears a
to
black
tell you
jacket.
bet Alabama -5.5.
I can see his face. Oh, I give up. What is it?
Nate Oates.
Yes.
I don't know shit about college basketball, and even I know that. I also just realized my office door has been open this whole time. So everybody's been hearing me talk about jerking off a beef towel. So let me go close that, and I'll be back in 10 seconds.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, let's get into today's show. Happy Tuesday, everyone. I think we're going to go with Cam Ward and his pro day, showing off, trying to delay as much as possible for TBob to get back into the mix over here. And just casually just getting the headsets on nice and slow, even slower.
What's up?
We're going Cam Ward first, correct?
Yeah, we can start wherever.
Let's go Cam Ward first.
Yeah. Okay, so Cam Ward. It feels like, Aaron, and tell me if you agree or not, because it's not necessarily the conversation we've been having the entire time. Cam Ward, well, okay, he's absolutely going to be the number one pick. That is assured without a doubt. Yeah. I think the interesting change to me as of late is that it feels like people are now changing their tune to, like, it used to be, okay, Cam Ward's number one because he just is, and there's nobody that good. It seems like now guys are starting to say, no. Cam Ward is deserving of being a number one pick at quarterback in any given year. And I see you squinting your eyes, but I guess the reason why this got on my mind is because Dan Orlovsky and Chase Daniel both had separate videos yesterday basically saying that exact same thing. I guess Chase Daniel technically said Cam Ward's the best all-around QB in this draft, and it's not close, inside the pocket and outside. Number one, but then he does go on to say number one pick type talent. Dan Orlovsky tweeting, this is what a number one pick at quarterback looks like from huddle to post-snap. Pro day today will only confirm. And then, of course, Cam Ward did have a very sexy pro day.
Yeah, the throw I think you're going to show was absolutely sexy. I think there's no doubt that in this year's draft, he's the number one quarterback, and I do think there's a little bit of a gap between him and Shedeur, and I'm glad that people are now fully on that board and committed, because Dan Orlovsky for a while was on the Shedeur Sanders bandwagon. And I know he still likes him, and I like Shedeur too. I'm not saying Shadeur's a bad quarterback, but Cam is clearly the best or the better of the two and should be the first quarterback taken off the board. But you cannot still tell me that Cam Ward, compared to years past, is on the same level of other quarterbacks that have been drafted number one overall. I think he's good. I'll say this. I think he's first round talent. I'll say that. I think first round talent feels good to me.
I mean, I don't think he's like a Joe Burrow
draft.
I don't think he's like a Joe Burrow, but you don't think he's like a Trevor Lawrence?
No, I don't.
Like, what does Trevor Lawrence do that's more special than Cam Ward?
I think Trevor Lawrence had a lot more to his game heading into college and less question marks.
I will say this. It does seem like you're always talking about wanting a superpower. It seems like people are starting to point to Cam Ward's arm strength as his
pretty damn good.
As his superpower, certified.
And I like his creativity. I just think that there's a lot of what the fuck moments throughout the year that there's still a lot more left. So and I mean, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe there's a lot of the juice to still be squeezed out of him for an NFL team, and they're excited about that.
So I know that throws at pro day and shit are kind of always memed on because, like, I get it. It's not actual football. It's just, it doesn't mean he's going to be a great quarterback, whatever. But like sometimes throws are just badass anyway, right? And this throw right here is one of the tightest throws you will ever see in a pro day setting, where he rolls out to his left, he's fading away, and he rips it 55 yards in the air on a rope to his boy. But what I'm going to show you, Aaron, to take this to the next level, okay, very impressive, right? Could you have done that back in the day, you think? 55 yards?
No, God, no.
Okay. I didn't know.
Yeah, but you know who did this like 3 years ago was old boy from BYU.
Zach Wilson?
Zach Wilson threw it across his body even more, threw from left hash to the right side of the field.
Again, does not mean that he is going to be great. impressive nonetheless. But here's where I like this. He actually did this in a game as well, Aaron. Look at this. Look at this play against Florida beginning of the season, where it's basically exactly how it breaks down. Gets some interior pressure. He has to he ends up spinning out of it.
Yep.
Come on, Chase. Hurry up. Keeps his eyes downfield, and look at where he fits this ball in right here, dude. Look at that. Boom. That's insane. That's insane. That's
I'm saying he makes elite first round plays, but there's a million other very questionable decisions that he has made during the season. Where once again, if you can clean that up, great.
I mean, is this a questionable decision? Look at when he throws this ball. He's throwing across his body. He barely plays this defender right here. I think that's
a great decision. I think there's no question he has a superpower in his arm strength. I think the creativity in the footwork is pretty superpower-esque, which is why he's clearly ahead of Shedeur. But I mean, I can show you the 2 or 3 plays just on top of my mind where he's rolling right and throws all the way across his body left for essentially a punt for interceptions. Those are quarterback 101. The first rule that I've always been taught: take care of the damn football. And he was reckless at times last year with the football. That concerns me.
So anyway, Cam Ward, though, for sure the number 1 pick. Shedeur, there's some talk of potentially sliding. The other interesting news: Jackson Dart appears to be almost, at least in mock circles, appears to be a lock for first round.
I think it depends when Shedeur goes. I think if Shedeur goes in the top 10, someone's going to want to try to reach for someone in that first round. And if he's the next guy, I would take a flyer on Jalen.
So Steven Kreuzberg says, TBob, throwing the ball is one thing. Reading a defense and reacting correctly is a complete different thing. Ward lacks in that department. Okay, well, I would say Dan Orlovsky knows quarterbacks very well, right? I mean, I think we'd all agree with that. Here is Orlovsky breaking. This could be a little bit longer here, but in light of that comment, this might be worth playing. Here is Orlovsky breaking down Ward.
Yeah, this is just pure progression here.
Cal absolutely took over. Offense was okay to start the game. Late in the game, he completely takes over. But I think one of the things as a evaluator you have to ask yourself, these quarterbacks coming out of school, is, do they ever control the line of scrimmage? And do they consistently get through progression?
Yeah, I don't want to listen to 3 minutes of Dan. Someone can go watch Twitter.
You don't want to listen to 3 minutes of Dan?
I already listened to it. I love Dan. I'm just saying, someone can go to his Twitter.
Okay, so do you agree then? I mean, look, he's calmly.
Once again, this is a single clip. It's a great clip. There's tons of great clips. He is a first-round talented quarterback. I'm not arguing that he's not.
I'm saying, but this take from Steven, because I feel like this may be, or some Sven, I apologize. TBob, throwing the ball is one thing. Reading defense and reacting correctly is a complete different thing. Ward lacks in that department. Do you agree that Ward lacks progression?
I wouldn't say it's a strength of his, but I think there's a lot of quarterbacks, because of the offenses they are in the situations they're put in, lack the ability to do. I mean, Tom Brady, I thought said this really well a couple months ago in that area of these quarterbacks and the offenses they play in. It's simplified. And then you get to the NFL and these guys are struggling because they're not used to going against certain defenses and the speed and the complexity. This is impressive. This is less about reading a defense. What he just did there, this is not reading a defense. This is going through your progression. This is saying, hey, I'm working from right side of the field to the left side of the field. I don't like my initial read, and you'll see his footwork here. He goes 1, 2, 3. He wants to rip it. He doesn't like it. He feels that linebacker moving to the right. He resets his feet nicely and then gets to the big dig route, which technically we've talked about this before. Verse cover 2, you like big dig routes. It's a cover 2. Dig routes are perfect verse 2, or that dagger route going to be coming from the left side of the screen, 2-high safety, and then boom, he rips it. So I think this is great progression. I wouldn't necessarily say that's reading a defense.
Okay. That's a good breakdown. It's a very good breakdown. We'll see. I'm a Cam Ward believer now. But he's going to be number 1 overall.
I am too. I just don't think you put him in a draft with the other 10 quarterback or the 15 quarterbacks I got drafted over the past 15 years, number 1 overall. I think he'd be in the bottom of that class.
All right. So, which teams are poised to rise in 2025? ESPN had an article breaking this down, and one of the questions they asked was, which non-CFP team from last year do you expect to make the playoff this year? Aaron, first off, who would you say did not make the playoff last year, going to make the playoff this year?
LSU.
Okay, that was the second most popular answer. Two of the writers choosing LSU. Do you know who was first?
I'm making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama.
Yeah. Alabama actually ended up getting 3 votes to LSU's 2. And I think it makes sense. Look, and in Alabama, including Bill Connolly, who I'm a big Bill Connolly believer. I think that man knows college football inside and out. I mean, you think about it, Alabama would have made it last year, not for falling apart against Oklahoma. You have another year of DeBoer making the program in his image. The roster should still be at the top of the blue chip ratio. Ryan Grubb is joining the squad now. Those are all the positives. I think the questions are quarterback, right? Like we talked about the other day. Is it Austin Mack? Is it Ty Simpson? And here's the other thing that I'm going to be interested to see over time. Alabama, when DeBoer took over, they were up there with Ohio State and like Texas, Georgia as kind of outliers, even amongst all the great still outliers in the blue chip ratio. I wonder if they keep that up in the DeBoer era. And I guess only time will tell. But yeah, Alabama, the team voted most likely to make the playoff that didn't.
I'm interested to see where they end up next year when it comes to the blue chip ratio. Like, does that, because Alabama was always one of the top ones when it came to the blue chip ratio, always the top talent. And I don't think that's going to just flip anytime soon. Like, that doesn't happen.
It's not going to go away overnight, but do they stay over 70%? Because 70% is the threshold. Like all the other teams, like your LSUs, your A&Ms, your Miamis, everybody is all about 66, 68, 67. But then it's only like Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, Texas, I believe, that get over the 70% mark.
So I'm interested to see where they end up this year, because they've always been the most talented teams, or one of the very few most talented teams in America. And if obviously we know DeBoer is not as good as Saban, if the big bad Alabama does start to kind of wear itself out and wear itself thin when it comes to recruiting, I'm interested to see what those numbers look like this year. But that may take a couple more years before we see a difference in the percentages. I'm sure they're still going to be somewhere in that mid-70s rank. So I think, they'll be talented enough. It just comes down to quarterback play. Jalen was not good enough a year ago. Will they be better with a significantly less experienced quarterback this year, but one that could possibly have known the system a little bit better if they do go with the young guy?
I think Dr. Squatch asked a salient question. Are we DeBoer believers? And on that, I still say yes. You do not build up the career that he had up to this point with the incredible amounts of wins, the minimal losses, what he accomplished at Washington. You do not build that up by accident. Nope. So yes, I think I am still a Kalen DeBoer believer, though it went from being, 100% dyed in the wool. I will sit here and, I'll be his John the Baptist and clear the way, where there's some doubt now creeping in. And this year will go a long way towards determining whether or not I remain a DeBoer stan.
Were you more the doubt because of the fact Alabama didn't make the playoffs last year, or the fact that Jalen did not progress? What's more concerning for you?
I guess both. I mean, maybe
obviously both. I'm just saying what's more concerning.
Yeah. I know. Let me think about it for a second. Probably the Milroe element.
Yeah.
Because I view DeBoer as a bit of like a quarterback whisperer, like offensive mastermind. And if you want to argue against that, you now say, well, a lot of guys could look great when you have Penix and 3 first or second round NFL receivers on a college football team all at the same time. So that would be the bigger red flag, is that I thought Jalen Milroe was poised to take a huge leap forward. And not only did he not, but he kind of stagnated and even got worse in some situations.
No, I would say he got worse. It was not the same. I thought he was better a year ago than he was this past season. And I thought he had talent around him this past year than he did a year ago, which is even worse.
And like, I didn't love a lot of the goal line play calling from Alabama. It was a lot of just like sweep Jalen. So that would be the biggest.
I love that aspect of their offense this year. I thought that was some of the best.
It felt like it was all they had. I thought they over relied on it last year.
Yeah, but it worked.
It definitely worked.
Would you not use a 6'2", 220-pound 4-3 running quarterback as an extra, with an extra blocker?
Yes, absolutely, yeah. But not every time.
I don't know. To me, it feels like more times than not, it was working for touchdowns.
All right. So Alabama won. LSU second on the list. I would say strengths are they have the talent, both of the portal and high school. They have the timing. Brian Kelly year 4, Blake Baker year 2. My question marks would be the offensive line, which you brought in a lot of starting talent, but it's being completely remade, and you're losing a couple of NFL tackles, which are hard to replace. And honestly, I think LSU's schedule does them no favors here. Starting with Clemson at Clemson to go along with that SEC schedule. That's
is it at Clemson or is it neutral? It's neutral.
No. It is in Death Valley. Yep. Look it up.
Ooh.
They are in it's a battle of the Death Valleys.
That sucks.
Yeah. So
why would you agree to that game?
So you have because you're not a pussy. So you have a new offensive line going against a Clemson defensive line that features 2 All-Americans, and you're going to do it first game of the season, and Brian Kelly has yet to win a season opener. So, again, LSU seems to have everything on paper, but that schedule may be the thing that ends up holding them back.
Ooh. Clemson, Florida, Ole Miss, South Carolina, A&M, Alabama, Oklahoma. You have the quarterback. You're going to have the talent. I think the defense will be better. You ask about like, are we DeBoer believers? Are we Brian Kelly believers? I think that to me is a big question going around college football. Is Brian Kelly a national championship caliber coach? Is he good enough to take the talent in Louisiana, in LSU, in Baton Rouge to the playoffs and beyond? And I would still say yes. I still think he's that good of a coach that I think this is the year, because of, more importantly, Blake Baker in his second year, that it all comes together with Nuss as well.
This is the final stand for Kelly. Yes. It's year 4. He's had 3 top 10 high school classes in a row. He just had the number 1 transfer portal class. You have the returning quarterback.
It's a schedule as daunting as we're making it out to be. I mean, Clemson will be tough, no doubt about it. Week 1, like that's a tough game. But you get Florida at home. You should, which goes to your point of this is make or break. You should beat Florida in your home in year 4 with Brian Kelly. You should win that football game. Ole Miss lost a lot. They're going to be bringing a new quarterback.
Going to Ole Miss, though.
But I think you're still more talented than Ole Miss. You should win that game. South Carolina, you should win that football game. Vanderbilt should win. A&M, you get them at home. Home. Should win that football game. At Alabama is going to be tough. They're bringing a new quarterback. But that's another iffy for me. Like the top tier iffies. Arkansas at home, Western Kentucky at home, and then at Oklahoma. Like I still view more of those games
at Oklahoma
should be winnable, which means
if
they can't, then I think you do need to reassess Brian Kelly and his future.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Another answer from the article was Louisville. I think Clemson's going to be tough to get through in the ACC, but they get Miller Moss. They had 4 games, and I think they lost by like 7 or fewer last year. So, maybe they hope that they win close games. And this is going to have to do more research on Aaron, but they wrote, quote, Louisville may have the best O-line in the ACC and one of the best nationally, and its 2 tailbacks, Isaac Brown and Duke Watson, are absolutely electric. So be on the lookout for Isaac Brown and Duke Watson.
I agree, and I think Miller Moss showed me enough good stuff last year. Then you see what Louisville was able to do from a quarterback standpoint with those 2 young running backs a year ago. I still think Clemson's a heavy favorite with everything they have back and how good their quarterback progressed. But Louisville's going to be good, and I still think Miami's going to have a decent team. But I would kind of lean Louisville as that number 2 team.
Yeah, I mean, but Clemson made the playoff last year, so technically they weren't eligible for this conversation. Yeah, like if we were to talk about the ACC teams, Clemson has to be the favorite. Is Louisville over SMU?
SMU's quarterback's back, correct?
You gotta be. Yeah, gotta be.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we haven't seen more SMU transfer portal news over this offseason. I'm sure they did fine in it, but it's not like, Texas Tech has been getting a lot of headlines. LSU, obviously. I'm surprised that SMU did not. So Andrea Adelson, ESPN college football writer, fell into a trap as old as time, Aaron. Who do you think she said?
The Aggies.
Yeah. Texas A&M. And I want to be clear to Andrea, I'm going to fall into this as well. You know, like I feel it. Okay. They're 7th in the country in returning production. I still believe in Mike Elko, even though year one, he ended up doing the exact same thing that every other Texas A&M coach does. They added Kevin Concepcion from NC State, who's awesome. Marcel Reed back. So, yeah, A&M, dude, good chance of making the playoff. I mean, eventually, it's got to be correct, right? Like
I
1
would
year.
say the difference between like this year and years past, I would say you should feel more confident about the quarterback play. And I know there's a lot of confidence, including myself, from Connor Wegman, but Connor also didn't play a lot of football. We saw Marcel play a lot of football. I still think there's a lot to like. There's a lot of improvement, especially throwing the football, that needs to get there. They lost their number one receiver in Noah Thomas. I think they have to get better around him.
Well, I mean, look, adding.
But I would say you should feel because there's more tape on Marcel than there was Connor. You should feel better about the quarterback position.
And look, Marcel Reed, it is kind of a weird thing where it's not that he was like dominant or anything. It's almost like his intangibles are more impressive than anything.
I mean, did you look at his stats from last year?
They're probably not very good, if I had to guess.
No, they are good. I mean, for not playing not being the guy the entire season. I mean, 1,900 yards passing, 15 touchdowns, 6 picks, 61% completion, and then another 550 yards rushing with 7 touchdowns. So 22 touchdowns, 6 picks total. I wouldn't say it's a bad year for not being the guy and being a freshman.
Let's see the game log. Yeah, he was great against Auburn. Yeah, I think the numbers are. Again, I think there's something there. I think there's something there for sure. Who do you think would make it from the Big 12? Are you on the Arizona State repeating? Or you want to join me on the Cyclone bandwagon? Rocco Bet?
You love some Brocco.
Or are you going to go with your fellow Jew, Jake Retzloff, BYU's quarterback?
Or do we go Colorado?
Why would you go Colorado?
We're not going Colorado. I'm not going Colorado.
Yeah, you lose the Heisman winner and the second quarterback drafted and think you get better?
I'll go Arizona State still.
Even over, I think the one that has the most to prove to me. Now you still got Levitt at Arizona State. You got Jordan Tyson back. That's huge. I think the one that has most to prove to me is Texas Tech because
they've got the money.
Yeah, they got a lot of hype. Like Joey McGuire has to prove to the investors that he is worthy of said investment. And I feel like Texas Tech is always flirting with breaking through. Mm-hmm. Like when you're not paying attention to them, they have good years, and then you start to hype them up for the next year, and they fall flat on their face. And this is going to be the ultimate test on that. Like if Joey McGuire and Texas Tech can't get it done this year, they're not ever going to get it done.
8 wins a year ago. You think Utah can jump back into it a little bit, the conversation?
Yeah, I mean, we're probably guilty of definitely overlooking Utah.
I mean, they were the heavy favorites last year. Obviously, the Cam Rising. Is Cam back again this year or not? Is he finally gone?
I don't think so. I have no fucking idea.
Who knows, but I would say the Red Raiders' schedule is not daunting by any stretch, and they have the roster. But I still lean quarterback first, especially in that league. So I would say Arizona State or your boys, the Cyclones.
Rocco Becht and Sam Levitt, probably the two best quarterbacks in the conference.
Yes.
I mean, because I wasn't a big Retzloff.
Can you get your mind
but
off
he
what
could get
happened
way
last
better.
year?
Like Retzloff
I mean,
could get way better. Wait, what?
They beat the brakes off him last year.
Who?
Arizona State.
Beat the brakes off who? Sorry.
Iowa State. 45-19.
Yeah. But do you remember Rocco Becht getting sent to another dimension and then coming back and throwing a sexy touchdown right afterwards? Because like I do, and that's the type of shit you build off of. Okay, just wait.
And then Arizona State's got to find their new Scattaboo. In that game, 16 carries, 172 touchdowns.
Yeah, he was the difference.
Yeah.
Scattaboo almost beat Texas. Scattaboo, very smart, Aaron, did not run a 40 this entire NFL preparation.
How are you allowed to not run a 40 as a running back?
Hammy. Xavier Restrepo should have taken a book out of Scattaboo's.
What do you run, a 4.8?
Out of Scattaboo's book, a 4.8.
Oh.
Miami's all-time leading receiver, a dude who knows how to get wide open, a guy who is awesome at football, ran a 4.8. And I know, like, look, somebody's still going to give him a chance, and I hope to God he works out. But, yeah, like, his agent should not have let him run. It's insanity. All right, do you want to hear about the new entry into the Way Too Horny Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
So former Michigan offensive coordinator Matt Weiss. Remember there was like the story, we talked about it in the past, but basically he's been accused of cyber crimes. He's been accused of hacking athletes' information from these databases and doing stuff with them. I thought that it was all football related, right? That this was somehow something to do with what's his name? The guy they made the whole doc, Connor Stallions. Like I thought it was tied into all that shit. It was something football related. Apparently not. So Weiss was indicted on 25 counts related to unauthorized computer access and identity theft. And then a day later, a lawsuit was filed by two athletes alleging that Weiss hacked their personal accounts to access nudes, quote, intimate photos. The two women on the lawsuit is a member of the Michigan gymnastics team from, I want to say like 5 or 6, or no, maybe like 7 or 8 years ago. And then a woman from the soccer team from 3 or 4 years ago. What's crazy, federal prosecutors allege that Weiss, an assistant coach in Michigan in 21 and 22, hacked email, social media, and cloud storage accounts belonging to more than 3,300 people and downloaded intimate photos stored on that accounts. The allegations stretch back to 2015 when Weiss was an assistant coach with the Baltimore Ravens. God. So my man, apparently there's some like third-party vendor, Keffer Development Services, that had a lot of the athletes like medical information and stuff like that. Weiss hacked into that. He then used the information.
What is he using it for? Like, what is he using that stuff for?
He gained access to that database and he got all that personal information of athletes at more than 100 universities. He then used that information to hack the email and social media accounts and the cloud accounts of thousands of students. My man was just creeping through people's iClouds all over the country, just gathering athlete nudes like some sort of horny tooth fairy. He's the nude fairy. He sneaks into your room at night and reaches under your pillow and steals your nudes.
I mean, like I said, I'm not defending. Do people keep nudes on their phones?
Aaron, you would know way better than me, bro. I've never gotten sent a nude.
But I would never keep one of myself. I would never keep one of myself.
How many have you taken of yourself? I have a hard and fast rule never to send a dick pic.
I don't know if I've ever. I don't think I have ever.
Now, me and my wife have definitely.
Well, even if like I'm a female, like you just keep nudes on your phone.
We've done like FaceTime stuff, you know.
Yeah,
that's fine. But no, I don't know, bro. You're asking the wrong person. I don't take nudes. I'm
just saying, like I would be so paranoid to keep anything on my phone for any reason that I would probably send it then delete it.
Yeah, I
But
would think so.
besides the point, the dude's still a fucking creep. No, don't get me wrong here. Like, you should not be doing what he did, but
Yeah.
I did not drunk Virgo send any dick pics. I didn't have to. That's the point.
It's just crazy to me. And he got off on the invasive nature of it because especially in the OnlyFans era of the internet, there are thousands upon thousands of resources. I mean, whatever. The internet's 95% porn.
Yeah.
You can look up any boobs, any butt, anything you want on the planet, but he got off on the kind of invasive, forbidden nature of straight up hacking these young women's clouds and stealing their nudes.
I'm guessing it's going to be a heavy sentence.
I would think so. So that's a lawsuit.
And he's going to get his in wherever he goes.
That's a lawsuit representing all the thousands of athletes or whatever. And they are saying that it is oh man, he looks weird too. Look at this guy. They are saying that they're seeking $100 million. QB coach Matt Weiss wants to grow Michigan's football's use of analytics. Quote, it's exciting. I bet you do, you little fucking computer nerd. See, that's why analytics sucks, okay? All you guys tip-tapping around on your computers, fucking nerds. What happened to just being good at football? Like men.
Yeah.
You're an insane person, Matt Weiss. What the hell are you doing, dude? You and Mel
not related to Charlie Weiss at all. Football, Weiss.
Last name spelled different.
Okay.
Matt Weiss has 2 S's. Ooh, Matt Weiss has been married since 2010.
Oof.
Go ahead and put a 2025 on the end of that tombstone.
Oof.
I don't think there's any explaining this one away to the wife.
Oof. Unless she was in on it.
Oh,
because it wasn't only women, right? It was guys.
I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah.
I've always described myself as a curious cock cat in that if I hear about somebody's penis leaking online, I'll look it up. But Matt Weiss took that shit to a whole new level, dude. That's crazy.
Oh, wild.
EA is raising player payments for the video game from $600 to $1,500 a player. How about that?
Ooh.
Which is crazy to me is look, EA ain't doing this out of the kindness of their own heart, right? And we don't know exactly how much this game sold, but in terms of total dollars with the Ultimate Team and everything, this is literally in a world where all of these FIFAs or whatever it's called now, EA Football Club exists worldwide. This college football game, was literally the highest selling sports game of all time in total dollars. And so I think EA knows they have a problem on their hand if they don't pay these kids more. But EA is traditionally a corporation that is known for being very greedy, like all corporations are supposed to be. So it is shocking to see them nearly triple the player payout. I mean,
yeah, but the total dollar amount is going to be $16.5 million.
$16.5 million just for player rights. And that's before like the bigger players and everything else.
Yeah. God, what do you think they made a year ago on that game alone?
I don't know. A lot.
Close to $1 billion?
A lot. I would imagine maybe like something. Got to be in close.
So I'm guessing this is more of for EA Sports to continue doing what they're doing. Do you think they initiated this? Somewhat initiated it, but like
yeah. No, this is EA.
Like
this is EA. No, this is EA of their own accord. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. They
made a shitload of money.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. The fact that EA tripled the amount of their own accord shows you they are very nervous about somebody being like, whoa. Yeah. Players should be getting royalties. Players should be getting this. Players should be getting that. Like they're like, no, look, we're going to bump it up. Bump it all the way up to 1,500. How about it? Hey, guys, here on the Snaps podcast, we have a brand new presenting sponsor, and that's our friends at Snaps Clothing Company. Now, as you can see, Snaps Clothing Company honors a time-honored style, the old pearl snap. And that's what I love. So here are the founders right here. There are a couple of guys, they're sitting there, they're chasing corporate gains, right? They're working in the corporate world, basically, and they became a bit disillusioned. So one night, they're like drinking whiskey, hanging out, and they just started talking about, I guess, how much they love pearl snaps. And so they wanted to bring pearl snaps to the modern era. And now they have, and it's fantastic. Now, we'll start by showing you real quick the Tailgater collection because, of course, we are a college football podcast. And I got a big box coming in, so I'll be showing these off soon, guys. But these are very comfortable. For the couple snap shirts that I have already, they wash great, they don't shrink, et cetera, et cetera. But look, we got A&M, TCU, Oklahoma, LSU, SMU, Alabama, Ole Miss, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech.
Georgia's coming in soon too.
Yeah. That's right around the corner. And so, look, we got short sleeve, long sleeve, ton of different colors, ton of different styles. Perfect for game day, perfect gift for any college football fans. And guys, you get a deal when you use the promo code SNAPSCFB. Also, it lets them know that you came here from the show, which right after you did this last Thursday, they got their first sale with the Snap CFB promo code. So hell yeah, guys. Thank you so much.
I've never had one of these before. And I will say this, having it is so nice.
Yeah,
I love it.
I agree.
I love it. I love the bill. Just snap it on. It makes getting in and out of the bed nice and easy. So yeah, go get some.
Look, 60% off on some of these more winter styles with the Rambler and the and the plaid. Where's my favorite line? I think it might be, yeah, these are the ones I can't wait to get. This kind of faux denim look. This one right here. Again, though, guys, shout out Snaps Clothing Company. Promo code SNAPS CFB when you order Snaps CFB. I wear 2X, Scott. He says to you, I wear about the same size. What's your size you wear? I wear 2X, and it fits great. So
I never knew about this large. What is it? Large. I don't know what the word is, but essentially it's a large, but it's a little bit longer in length. Because I'm in
like a tall, like a large tall.
Yeah. A large tall.
Yeah. But you're a little short boy. What? How's that possible?
I'm not a short. I had my first physical in 5 years the other day.
Oh, I'm about to get mine on Wednesday. How'd it go?
It was the NFLPA is doing offering these full-on physicals for you and your spouse.
Hell yeah.
So we went. It was like a 3-hour thing. I mean, EKG and everything. But your boy, 6'1", 12% body fat.
Look at that, dude. Look at that. And our boy just booked a modeling gig.
Yeah.
Guys, so did we announce that? Are we allowed to announce
last week?
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out Aaron, an actual model now. You want to hear something funny? So I'm getting that physical tomorrow. First time in a long time. First time ever as an adult. And I don't know if he's going to stick his fingers up my ass or not, but it's one of my friends. The doctor is.
I would love that. It feels great.
Well, and so we were at a tennis tournament this weekend, and I was telling his wife, like, oh yeah, I'm going to see Drew on Wednesday or whatever. I was like, I think, I was like, maybe he'll stick his fingers in my ass, and then me and you can have that in common. And I do not know her that well. And it did not get a laugh. It was very awkward. She did. Or I think I said something along the lines of maybe he's going to have his fingers inside me. And, me and you will have that in common. And she did not. It was just kind of awkward. It just did not play very. I thought it was very funny, but whatever.
TBob, the new Weiss.
No, not true. Not true. I've not hacked any. Accounts here. All right, finally.
Law Cassie with a nice quote here. That's a real bummer.
Yeah, I mean Daniel's probably right. Honestly, that may not be the first time she's heard that joke. That's probably true. That's the
first time I've ever heard it.
So again, who was it again? So I can credit him. Manny Navarro had a deep dive on the Athletics studying the portal. And let's look at some of these numbers. Aaron, roughly 40% of the all league selections in 2024 transferred at one point in their career. So again, the best players are transferring. Nearly half of all league selections in 2024 transferred at one point of their career. In fact, 68 were acquired of the 292. 68 of 292 were acquired in the 2024 cycle alone. 25 were first team all conference. That's kind of interesting. Here is maybe the most interesting thing I'm going to tell you this entire day. Of the 11 quarterbacks selected to Power 4 all conference teams, 11 were selected to Power 4 all conference teams. Only 2 were not acquired via the portal. So you want to talk about the day and age of developing quarterbacks being well dead and done?
Done.
I mean, 2 of the 11 were homegrown guys. Can you guess the 2? It's kind of tough. Are you?
I know Lenoris because
yeah.
And
then Kevin Jennings from SMU.
Jennings. Yep.
But either way, 2 of the 11. And here's where we start to see something that we talked about.
These numbers are exactly why I would be almost discouraged as a coach to really deep dive into development. I mean, it kind of feels like the NFL. The NFL model is like bring guys in, teach them the playbook, and then go out there and play. And if you're not good enough, then I'll just find someone else who is good enough. Because it's that easy for me to go replace you. So why waste my time if I can just go more big picture, more development?
Yeah, but I mean, playbook. But you still want to.
You're not doing any fundamental work. Like I did plenty of fundamental work in the NFL, but like the main emphasis was getting the playbook down.
Wait, did Andrew Luck fire Troy Taylor?
Ooh.
Remember we broke down that. Let me look this up real quick. Chat saying it may have happened. Remember that Stanford. We broke down the Troy Taylor. Yep. Andrew Luck fired. So remember, so actually, Aaron, credit to us. We were on both these stories. First off, we told you last week or maybe 2 weeks ago about how Stanford's football hierarchy was interesting because Andrew Luck was GM, but he was actually above the head coach in the power structure. And then we broke down the Troy Taylor story where Troy Taylor basically got into it with compliance and was walking around, studies finding that he was belittling female employees or whatnot. Here's what Andrew Luck said, quote, "I took the role of Stanford football general manager with a strong vision for building a new winning era for our football program. Additionally, in recent days, there have been significant attention to Stanford investigations of previous years related to Coach Taylor. In consultation with the university leadership, I no longer believe that Coach Taylor is the right coach to lead our football program. He's been informed today that the change is effective immediately." Damn. So Andrew Luck coming out swinging as GM. Going to be getting a new coach over there at Stanford. I agree. Time to start over. Taylor fucked up.
How much input he gets or how much decision making he gets with the new head coach?
Probably almost all of it, dude.
You think?
Well, because I don't think that. I mean, him and the AD.
Yeah.
That's the team, right? The AD is the one that made him GM. The AD is the one that put him above the head coach in the org chart. I don't think the president cares. I think the president cares when the coach gets found guilty of belittling female employees. And again, this is on Troy Taylor. I get it, guys. I had somebody text me after that podcast be like, dude, that compliance department's probably annoying as fuck. I agree, but you're at Stanford. You have to know where you're at. This is not some place. Yes, this is not some place that is going to bend the rules for you.
Good job, Andrew Luck, making the tough decisions.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Interesting. Anyway, so you know how when we talk about the portal, we've always talked about how the osmosis doesn't just work one way. Mm-hmm. Like, yes, you have a lot of group of 5 players leave and go to the Power 4, but you also have the other direction as well. We see that here as well. So about 1,200 players left Power 4 schools. Only 500 of the 1,200 ended up in the Power 4. Additional 370 went group of 5. An additional 120 went FCS or lower. And then 202 didn't find anywhere. Granted, a lot of those guys are just done playing, walk-ons, whatever. Out of the group of 5, you had about 1,100 players leave, of which 330 went to Power 4 schools. And 301 ended up at other group of 5 programs. and 216 time below FCS level, and the remainders didn't get anybody. So actually what you're seeing, Aaron, for all the complaining, and I get it, because as we'll see in a second, group of 5, the best players get absolutely poached, but the exchange is basically equal. You had 367 move from Power 4 to Group of 5, yep, and you had 327 move from Group of 5 to Power 4. So
interesting,
balancing out. Shout out to the AAC, speaking of Group of 5, because out of these 66 Group of 5 first team all-conference selections, 42 of the 66 ended up at Power 4 programs. Only 18 stayed with their schools. But here's where the AC's an outlier. 7 of the 12 first teamers that's on eligibility remaining return to their original school. In Conference USA, only 2 of 19. In the MAC, only 3 of 11. The Mountain West, 6 of 12. And the Sun Belt, 0 of the 12 with first teamers with eligibility remaining state. So the AAC strong programs managing to hold their talent a bit more.
I mean, it makes sense them in the Mountain West. Those kind of two, to me, the two.
Yeah, because the Mountain West is strong as well. Yes, I would agree.
So, some teams with good football traditions, maybe a little NIL money as well. There we go.
And then you have your plus minus winners. So Miami led the way, signing 8 top 100 players. I didn't quite realize that. LSU 7, Texas Tech 6, Oregon 5, Ole Miss 4, North Carolina 4, Texas A&M 4. Purdue, this is crazy. Purdue, a bad Purdue team, lost 6 top 100 players. Florida State lost 4, USC lost 4, Kentucky lost 4, and Georgia actually lost 4 as well. If you look at starts gained, net career starts, Arizona added 230 starts.
Damn.
Mizzou added 215, Oregon 213, Indiana 201. But here's an interesting metric. So LSU, the reason why they ended up number 1 in the transfer portal rankings, they added 10 players who started at least 6 games for Power 4 programs. So it wasn't just Group of 5 starts. They were adding guys who started in the Power 4 for the majority of the season.
Well, look what Indiana did last year. It wasn't from, I think you made the good difference. It wasn't Power 4. It was from the Group of 5, but they went and added guys that had experience.
Yeah.
That know how to play football games, that maybe not in the same situation as some of these teams, that the players that are getting from bigger schools, but still play football, have tape, can kind of jump in and go. And I think LSU, going to my point of earlier, who do I feel can jump into it? It feels like LSU is making the right moves this offseason.
So here's where it gets interesting, though. Second on this list, the starters from Power 4 that started at least 6 games, right? So legit Power 4 starters. Auburn had 8. Yeah. Auburn second on the list. Florida State added 7. Washington added 6. And Indiana added 6. And then finally, Arizona, Louisville, and West Virginia all signed 16 transfers who started at least 6 games. Majority came from Group of 5, but all of those schools trying to remake their image by bringing guys up from the G5. I thought those numbers, again, I think the really salient numbers here are the 2 of 11 all-conference quarterbacks being homegrown is shocking to me. The fact that the Group of 5 to Power 4 osmosis is essentially equal, I think is very interesting. And
I think especially the quarterback play, I think we're going to see less of that going forward. I anticipate, so we're going to hear more about this in 2 weeks from now, but I anticipate there being some more longer term contracts, especially with the bigger time players, where we may see a little less movement from, say, quarterbacks.
Well, but the problem is, though, with quarterback, it's just that a lot of times those 5-star guys just don't develop, and the person who does is the one that you want.
Yeah.
Right? Like Jackson Arnold versus Mateer. I don't know how big of a recruit Mateer was, but I don't think he was a big one.
No, it wasn't Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. Alabama, number 2 on the initial 2025 S&P Plus. Ohio State, Alabama, Penn State, Georgia, Notre Dame, Oregon, Texas, Tennessee, Ole Miss, and LSU round out the top 10. When do you know Clemson's number 11? Jeez. All right, we can break this down a bit later, though. I didn't know that Connolly had dropped a new S&P Plus.
That's we'll do that on Thursday.
Yeah. All right, guys. Y'all have a great day. Again, shout out to Snaps Clothing Company. Link in the description. Promo code SNAPCFB. Thank you for bearing with me as we made it through today's show on the struggle bus. We'll be back more. Share with your friends, guys. Great way to help out the show. Just like it, share it, rate and review it on wherever you listen to podcasts. And we'll have